kept you waiting, huh?
Stealth, the art of hiding in the shadows and waiting and waiting and waiting for the perfect moment. Stealth in video games is a high risk, high reward type of thing, because getting caught is the end. But on the other hand, seeing that 100% just feels so good. So I'm going to be giving you guys my top 10 favorite stealth games that I have played. And I'm only going to include one game from each franchise, because if I didn't, this list would be way too repetitive. But we do have an exception for this. Yes, Hitman Absolution is my favorite game. And why, you may ask? Because it doesn't make you hide in plain sight. I mean, you can, but 9 times out of 10, you are gonna get caught anyways. Because here, you're Agent 47, but you were betrayed by the agency and the police are onto you. So that's why hiding in plain sight won't really work, because as they know you and want to hunt you down. So you have to get behind cover, throw surprisingly satisfying kitchen knives at guards, strangle them, manhunt style. So if you wanted a Batman Hitman type of game, this is the one for you. And the levels are so fun. But I'll be fair, towards the end of the game, it is a bit sloppy, but honestly, it's such a blast of a game. It's an amazing game, and you should all give it a try. As far as stealth in OG Assassin's Creed games, Unity is the best by far, and in terms of gameplay and parkour. You play as Arno during the French Revolution. It is difficult not to see the similarities between Arno and Ezio, but we all love Ezio, don't we?
Release me. I will spare your lives.
Listen to this one!
It only took Ubisoft 7 long years for them to finally add the most basic, but essential, stealth element. Crouching. Why would it take this long? Especially as they have it like in Far Cry 3, which is coming up. I think the main reason it works here and not the other games is Unity is much more interior based. Well, it still has an open world, don't get me wrong, but I remember much of the stealth sequences being inside a mansion or like a party within a mansion. If you were turned off by the game when it was released, and expectedly so, due to the glitches and such, but in 2024 the game is fully playable now and the graphics are still beautiful, so you should all give it another go. Like, come on, you're Batman, you're the Dark Knight, you're the Caped Crusader, so you expect this stuff to be amazing, and it is. But I do have one tiny gripe, which I'll talk about later. The game usually puts you in like an area with the bat statues to hook onto and hang people onto. And there are also vents below down to ground, so you can navigate the area without, getting caught. There are 2 ways you can knock out the enemies. You either hang them from the statues or sneak up behind them and knock them out, which can get a tad bit repetitive after a while. And there isn't a consequence to getting caught, as you can just use your grappling hook and just keep swinging from one statue to another and they'll just lose you, which is a good or bad thing depending on who you are. But the boss fight with Mr. Freeze is just peak. It is one of the most well executed stealth bosses you can get, because you cannot fight him straight on, so you have to sneak up behind him in many different ways, because you can only do one type of attack once.
I can evolve my strategies. And you?
Play all the Batman Army games, they're just all amazing, just go play them all right now if you haven't.
Run, Forrest! Run!
It may not be stealth focused like the other games on this list, like in Hitman Absolution, you are a hitman, or Assassin's Creed, you're an assassin, and Batman, well, you're Batman. But here you're just some random dude who was just partying with his friends, and somehow ended in the worst possible place they could have landed in. An island filled with enemies, and Voss, a mentally unstable but fantastic antagonist.
Did I ever tell you the definition of insanity?
Oh, Jesus.
In Far Cry 3, stealth is optional, except for some missions. Although they are optional, but they always allow you to stick around, and that's what I always do. They give you a whole roster of sneaky stuff. You got a camera where you can spot and highlight enemies, which I believe the game at number 4 copied. You can put silencers on most weapons. Best ones, in my opinion, are the silent sniper and pistol. But the bow and arrow is just perfect. That combined with capturing an outpost, it just... Jin Sakai is an amazing protagonist, doing whatever it takes to protect the people of Tsushima, even if it means he's losing his honor. Like, you are a skillful samurai with a bow and arrow and a grappling hook. That's just a match made in heaven. You've also got focus hearing mode, which is just basically something right out of Last of Us. You can chain assassinations, which is really OP. They give you everything to stealthily murder everyone. And hey, if you don't want to sneak around, you got an amazing combat with really satisfying parries and different stances for different types of enemies. Coupled with an amazing open world, beautiful graphics, beautiful trees, and an amazing story. I cannot wait for the sequel, Ghost of Yote, I have definitely butchered that name, has in store for us. Arcane's first big hit, Dishonored, is fantastic. From the art design to the gameplay, using powers, and they're all blended with amazing level design. You play as Corvo. You go to see your family, and then these shadow men appear, kill your wife, steal your daughter, and you get framed, then go to prison. But you eventually get out of prison and discover that you have powers.
Use this newfound power my gift to you.
That make you teleport or blink. You also unlock more powers throughout the game. The teleporting mechanic is so fun and experimental, so you gotta be strategic. Dishonored's one-on-one combat is a deflect strike type of thing. And they also have a gun or crossbow on your other hand, and you can shoot the guards' heads off clean. It's so good, but I prefer the stealth, and the game actually encourages you to stealth or not even like kill anyone or just make them unconscious, as you have a ranking screen at the end of each level, and that's when you know it is a good stealth game.
I won't scatter your son.
The first game on this list made by the father of stealth, Hideo Kojima. This time you play as Venom Snake with a different voice actor, but I forgot that it isn't David Hayter, as Snake just doesn't talk here. The game is a mission-based open world, but the areas that you actually do the missions in are repeated, and they can get, well, repetitive. And they kinda all look the same, because they're placed in Afghanistan. Gameplay is really what we play these games for. You've got a camera to detect and mark enemies, or guards. You hide in cardboard boxes like any other Snake would do. Something I really like is when you get caught, you get like slow motion effects to try to kill the person that spotted you before it alerts everyone else, which is a really nice addition. You can balloon like almost everything, like even sheep, to grow your mother base. You gain companions like a dog. Now, the story. There will be a lot of spoilers, so please, if you haven't played this game, please skip to the time shown. Okay, you have three antagonists, Skull-faced, Fire Guy, the Psycho Mantis looking person. I know the story is unfinished, but I generally got so confused that I want you guys to explain it to me. So the Fire Dude, Psycho Mantis, who are they? And why are they after Snake? Or not really Snake, and it's just some person who they made surgery for to look like Snake, right? Why would they do that? I don't understand. And how does he have the actual skills of Solid Snake? That's what I don't understand. And these like teleporting guys, they're the scariest enemies. Like, who allowed them to be this fast? This is the game that revolutionized stealth forever. Like every other game, every single stealth game on this list, or in general, owes a special thanks to Metal Gear Solid. It wasn't the first stealth game, nor was it the only stealth game to come out in 1998, as there was Thief and Tenchu. But Metal Gear Solid was way ahead of its time. In terms of everything, the voice acting was amazing. And if he blindfolded me and I heard it, I would never guess it was made in 1998.
It's Snake. I'm in front of the disposal facility.
Excellent, Snake. Age hasn't slowed you down one bit.
And it's actually better than like some games that come out now.
I heard that thieves broke into the Arcane University, the Imperial Legion compound, and the temple all on the same night. Wait a minute, let me do that one again.
Graphics, although it is very outdated, back then it looks pretty good. The gameplay, it has tank control, and it is awkward, and it's a top-down view. But you can get past it. I know it's annoying and it's hard to aim, but you know, it's very worth it. This game is very worth it, trust me. You have a minimap telling you where the enemies are and their cone of vision is. You gain weapons throughout the game and other items. There is a camera that can spot you.
A surveillance camera?
You see your footsteps in the snow, scale building. This is all crazy for a 1998 game on the PS1. And the amount of detail, like Psycho Mantis reading your controller, so you have to switch to like memory 2. This game is still playable to this day. As a pure spy stealth game, this is the best you can get. Sam Fisher's not a fun and charismatic guy, but a 50-year-old introverted guy. But that's what you kinda expect from a secret spy agent. In Chaos Theory, you're not supposed to go around and kill everyone in sight using a science pistol. I mean, you can, but sometimes Lambert tells you you just can't.
Fisher, I can't stress this enough. If one Japanese soldier dies, we risk World War III. Any fatalities and I abort the mission immediately.
You can still knock them out though. You have a light meter to show how hidden you are in the shadows to other enemies. Something new they added was a sound meter to show how loud you are. My favorite addition is the AMP gun. In the older ones, you can shoot out the lights to sneak past, which was groundbreaking back in 2002. And a lot of games don't even do that now. But in Chaos Theory, instead of breaking lights and making sound, you instead just turn them off. And then you can use your iconic night vision goggles to see in the dark. That bank mission is just enough to make me want to go back and replay. Gotta play it right now. Now, before we get to the number 1 spot, I do have a few honorable mentions. We got The Last of Us Part 1 and 2. They both have such good stories and good combat, but Part 2 is way ahead in terms of gameplay. Reason it isn't on the top 10 is that I'm halfway through Part 2 and I don't want to rank something that I haven't fully finished yet. We also got Dishonored 2. A lot of people say this is better than Dishonored 1, and it is. Very fun, but I prefer the first one as there's just something about it. And of course, we got all the Metal Gear Solid games, specifically 2 and 4, because they're just so iconic. You cannot miss them out, you know? You could just not miss out. I'm waiting for Guns of Patriot to come out in the Master Collection as I still haven't played it. We also got Far Cry 4. Pagan Men is on like vast level of an antagonist, and gameplay is similar to Far Cry 3, if not better. It has to be Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. It combines everything good about Metal Gear into one game, except for the tank controls, which I'll talk about later. You're Naked Snake, your first big undercover mission during the Cold War. You gotta use your surroundings in the forest, whether it's climbing the trees and shooting from them, or using camouflage to crawl around on the tall grass. Or maybe you just use the bees to get ready for your enemies. Okay, I apologize, David Hayter. This is very insulting to your work and everything that you've done. I am very sorry. Thanks to the HD collection, it's the first one to be in third person, and I think that's the only way you can play it. I have no idea how people would play it from a top-down view, especially with the tank controls, and that's my biggest problem with the game. The controls are really awkward, especially in the boss fights, but something about shooting in first person with no laser and getting that perfect sleep in the head, it just... And you best believe the remake is my most anticipated game. If it does come out this year, it is my game of the year with no doubt in mind. I don't care about no Black Myth Wukong, no Astrobot, nothing. This is the game. You have to play it, like right now. Like, stop whatever you're doing and go play it. Or actually don't. Go and wait for their remake, as there will now be tank controls and have modernized controls. Thank you all for watching, and feel free to comment down below on some games that went under their radar. And check out more rankings like this one, where I ranked all the Soulsborne games.